Good morning.
Good morning.
We're just having a little tease. You will probably need a blanket or something soft to pop underneath your knee for class today. So please just grab something now while we have a few more sips.
So please do that whilst we're sipping.
And then we're going to meet in a seated position for a little meditation. So if you want to sit yourself on top of a block or a book, you're more than welcome. If you want to sit yourself up against a wall for a little bit of back support, or even in a chair, that's also perfect. So putting the tea down. Closing your eyes. Letting the body be soft. The face be soft. Land your attention on the breath. Not controlling the breath or altering the breath in any way. Your mind will wander away from the breath. This is part of meditation. This is good. When it wanders, I'd just like you to take note today of where it goes. Don't get too involved. Just notice. And then gently, gently bring the awareness back to the breath. If your mind has wandered, notice where it's wandered to, then bring the awareness back to breath. Deepen and elongate your breath. Add a very gentle restriction of the back of the throat. So the breath now becomes audible. There's a really wonderful book called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. It's about rewiring your brain by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And he very famously says, where attention goes, energy flows. So as we move through this practice today for happy and healthy hips, notice where your attention moves to. And in this class, you have an opportunity to explore. If you feel like where your attention is not serving you, then have a play. Where else could you place it? And when you're ready, you're going to blink open your eyes. We're going to lay down on our backs. Christian and I are going to top and tail, so you can lay down this way or lay down this way. So you need some space for the legs for a moment. So you're going to start by bringing your knees in towards your chest. Place your right hand to your right knee, your left hand to your left knee. And you're going to circle your knees forward, out wide, and then towards your body. And just observing the shape, the texture, the experience within the hip joint. You can play with pace. What happens if you move faster? What happens if you move slower? And then going the other way. Okay, extend your legs directly towards the ceiling, and we're going to point our feet today. And then bring your legs nice and wide. Great. Now, you don't have to go as wide as you possibly can. Find somewhere that is reasonably comfortable. Hug your navel towards your spine, and then internally rotate. So you're going to try to spiral your inner thighs towards one another, and then externally rotate. So spiral your inner thighs away from one another. Core is engaged here. So internally rotate and externally rotate. If that's really difficult, bring your feet a little closer together. Internal as you inhale, external as you exhale. Just move between these two positions. You might notice that maybe internal or external feels a little easier. If you practice a lot of yoga, usually internal will be quite difficult. We don't spend a lot of time in internal rotation in yoga. So it could feel a little blocked, it certainly does for me. Okay, let's stay in external rotation now. I'm going to make circles. So circling both legs. Core stays engaged. Notice where the attention is moving to. Great, now come into internal rotation and make circles in the opposite direction. Where does your attention go? Great, bring the knees in towards the chest, big hug. Bring the knees wide, slide your hands underneath the calf, between the thigh and the calf. Option to stay here or to extend your feet directly over the top of the knees. Option to stay here or to grab hold of the feet. Now press your feet up and press your knees down. So we're not in a
passive happy baby. We're very much in an active happy baby. And then if you want to rock gently from side to side, you're also welcome to do that. Great, bring your knees in towards your chest. Take around about 4 rocks and rolls so you meet in an all 4 position, fairly central on the mat. So stack your joints when you arrive, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Hugging navel towards spine. Keeping that, inhale, draw sit bones up, open the heart forward, bring the shoulder blades together. And then exhale, round through the spine, tuck the tailbone chin to chest. Spread the shoulder blades apart. Inhale, open through the heart. And exhale, round, push the back of the heart towards the ceiling. Just take a few more like this. Again, notice where your attention moves to. Where attention goes, the energy flows. Where we place our attention alters our reality. Nice work. Come to a neutral spine, bring your hands one handprint more forward, tuck your toes, push back, down dog. Feel free to walk out your feet here, move your hips from side to side. In down dog, our feet are around about hip distance apart. If you feel a lot of tightness through the back of the legs, I really recommend that you take a deep bend through your knees. Don't worry about the legs being straight. Press down through the hands and push the sit bones towards the ceiling. Come up onto your tippy toes now. Walk yourself towards the top of your mat, feet hip distance apart. Very deep bend through the knees. Grab hold of each opposite elbow so your torso can rest onto the thighs. Winter in Melbourne, so this is our sock taking off time. It could be a gentle rock, nodding of the head for yes, shaking of the head for no. And let's release the grip. One vertebrae at a time. Round yourself up, roll yourself up until we meet in Tadasana mountain pose. We're going to take a few rounds of sun salutation A today to warm through the body. So let's bring our hands together in prayer. Your feet can be hip distance or big toes together, whatever feels best. Inhale, lift your palms up to the sky. Hands come to prayer above the head. Exhale, roll down through the spine. Hands come to the mat, soft neck. Inhale, halfway lift. Press your hands into your shins, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank pose. Protract your shoulder blades, so spread the shoulder blades apart, back of the heart presses to the ceiling, pubic bone to face. Now inhale, reach the crown of your head forward. Exhale, lower onto your belly. You can drop your knees if you need to. Thrust your pelvis into the mat when you arrive. Press all of your toes into the mat and inhale, open through the heart. Back of the neck is long. Hug the elbows in towards you. Exhale, release the head. Either pushing yourself up onto your knees or tuck your toes and lift your knees. Try to keep the spine straight, core engaged in both variations. We meet in plank and then we push back, down dog. So that's a modified version of sun salutation A. You're welcome to stay with that variation. Notice where the attention moves to. On your next exhale, step yourself to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise the palms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Second round, inhale, lift the palms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, your fingertips can stay on the mat. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank. You can take the first variation or inhale, reach the crown of the head forward. Exhale, lower down halfway so shoulders are in line with elbows. Then come to the toenail side of the feet as you open through the heart. Arms straight, pelvis, knees, calves, ankles lifted for up dog. Shoulder blades move together. And then we find our way back, down dog. So you might notice that your attention moves, for example, onto the rest of your day or to a task you have to do later in the day. Maybe that is of service to you. Or maybe it would be more of service to keep the awareness here, present to this experience. When you're ready, walk yourself to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Inhale, rise the palms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. This is the last one. Inhale, rise the palms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, step back. Inhale, crown of the head moves forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, your back bend. Could be up dog or cobra. Exhale, push back, down dog. Inhale, rise your right leg to the sky. Exhale, bring the knee in towards the chest, step the foot forward. Drop the back knee. Now this is the time where you might like to place something soft underneath your left knee for support. Then lift yourself up with your hands to your hips. So we're going to move our pelvis into neutral or maybe even into a little bit of posterior tilt here if possible. So press your right heel down and with your hands, see if you can tilt your pelvis so your two frontal hip bones move closer towards your face and your sit bones move closer towards your yoga mat. Great, now we're going to try to maintain this. We're going to reach our hands forward in a prayer position. Great. From here, reach your right hand behind you. Keep the tilt of the pelvis. Lift the heart and see if you can tap your right hand to your left heel. And you may not be able to, and that's okay. And then come back to center. Hands can meet. Exhale, reach behind you. Try to keep the tilt of the pelvis open through the heart. Maybe you can tap the heel and come back to center. Just pause for a moment. So if you're feeling compression through your lower back, don't touch the heel. Keep the spine long. Just reach behind you, yeah? So exhale, let's see if we can tap. If we can't, that's perfect. Lift through the heart. Inhale back to center. Exhale, reach. Inhale, center. Exhale, reach. Inhale, center. Last one. Exhale, reach. Inhale, center. Beautiful work. Bring the hands to the mat. Straighten through the right leg. Flex the right foot toes towards you. So we're going to do some internal external rotation here. So bring your right little toe as close towards the right side of the mat as possible. Then come back to center. And bring the big toe as close to the inside of the mat as possible. And come back to center. Just move between these two positions. Notice where you're placing your attention. For example, if your attention is in, oh, my hamstrings are so tight. Maybe that's of service to you, or maybe it's not.
Where could you place your attention that is of service? Great work. Plant your right foot down, remove any prop underneath the left knee. We're going to come into Skandasana. So your right knee is going to maintain bend, and you're going to straighten through your left leg, and your left foot toe is now pointing towards the top left corner of the mat as we press the right knee away from us. And then we're going to find this position towards the back of the mat. So bend through the left knee and straighten through the right leg. I'm going to move between these two positions. So bending the right knee, bend through the left, bending right, and bending left. Great. Come towards the top of your mat, find a plank. There's a vinyasa if you'd like to take it, or you can rest. Crown of the head moves forward. Inhale, chaturanga, exhale. Inhale is your back bend, up dog or cobra. Exhale, push back, down dog. So all of those vinyasas are totally optional from now on. Feel free to skip them if you like. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, knee to chest, step the foot forward. Drop the back knee, and if you want a little bit of support here, I do really recommend it as we do this, then slide that support underneath you and bring your hands to your hips. So pressing down through the left heel, taking this moment to find that slight posterior tilt of the pelvis if possible. And you'll feel a very deep stretch down your right hip flexor. Then reach your hands forward. We don't want to compress into the lower spine, so try to keep the spine long, the heart lifted. If you don't touch the heel, that's totally fine. So exhale, reach your left hand behind you. Inhale, center. Exhale, reach. Inhale, center. Work the tilt of the pelvis. Exhale, reach. Open the heart. Inhale, center. Exhale, reach. Inhale, center. We've got one more on each side. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Hands to the mat, straighten through the left leg. Flex those left foot toes towards your face. And then let's work the rotation. So little toe to the outside edge of the mat, and then big toe to the inside of the mat. Just moving between these two positions. Perfect. Find Skandasana, bending through the left knee. We're going to Skandasana walk again. This time, if you want it to be a little more challenging, you can bring your hands to your heart. So not having the support of the hands to the mat. So walk towards the back of the mat, very strong on the hips. Walk towards the front of the mat. So Krissy is doing the really challenging variation. Bend through the right knee and the left knee. Right knee and left. We come to the top of the mat. We find plank, snap, crackle, pop, and take your flow if you want to. We'll meet back in our down dog. Inhale, rise your right leg to the sky. Exhale, bend through your right knee and allow the hip to open in space. So your right knee is lifting up towards the ceiling, your right heel towards the left butt. And then I invite you to make some circles here. Think about circling through the knee. Big, wide circles. Continue to press evenly down through both hands. Wrap the left outer hip back. Go in the opposite direction. Great.
Bring the knee in towards the chest, step the foot forward, rise up for a high lunge. Nice work. We're going to bring our hands to our pelvis once again and find that same thrust, that same posterior tilt if you can here. Now you're going to keep your back knee very bent as you straighten as much as you can through the right knee. Now right leg is straight. If you're prone to locking out your knee and you're locking out here, try to keep a little bend through the knee. Now thrust the pelvis forward, thrust, 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 and lean yourself back a little bit. So it's like your torso is in a diagonal line. Now reach the hands forward. Okay, we're going to try and tap the heel again. You know what? We're not going to tap it, but we're going to try to tap it, yeah? Long spine, heart stays lifted, exhale. Try to tap the left heel. Ooh, it's hard work. Inhale back. Exhale, try to tap the left heel with the right hand. Keep thrusting the pelvis. Thrust, thrust, thrust. Yes, nice friction. Inhale back. Keep thrusting. Exhale, left hand back. Inhale, center. Right hand back. Inhale, center. We're nearly there. One more on each side. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Beautiful work. Bring the hands to the mat. Pyramid pose. Step your left foot in a little bit. Great. Fold over the legs. If you want some support underneath the hands, a couple of blocks or a couple of books is good. Deep breaths. Moving into standing splits, place all of your weight into the right foot and lift the left leg up. I don't mind if the hip opens today, all good. You're going to bend through your left knee, and again we're going to make some circles here. As you do, really press down through the right heel. And circling in the opposite direction. Beautiful. Step the left foot back. Step the right foot back. Take a flow or rest. Inhale, rise the left leg up. Exhale, bend through the knee. Allow the hip to open. Pressing through the hands. Big circles. And the opposite direction. Extending the leg up, bring the knee in towards the chest, step the foot forward, rise up for high lunge. Bring hands to the pelvis. Using the hands to find that tilt of the pelvis, sense of thrusting. Then deepen through the back knee, straighten through the left leg, and then allow the torso to move backwards in space. So you're like in that Michael Jackson Thriller video clip where they move backwards like that. That's the feeling. Keep the thrust of the pelvis, reach the hands forward. Exhale, left hand tries to tap the heel, open through the heart. Come back to center. Exhale, tap, thrust the pelvis. Inhale, center, press through the feet. Exhale, tap. Inhale, center. Exhale, tap. Inhale, center. Exhale, tap. And center. Tap. And center. Hands to the mat. Pyramid pose, step the right foot in a little bit. Notice what you notice. Standing splits, weight into the left foot, lift the right leg up. Bend through the right knee and circle. So your hands can really help you with balance here, so maybe you need to place the hands wider, up onto fingertips or on blocks for support, whatever you need. Circling in the opposite direction. Nice work. Step back. Take a floor rest. We're nearly there. Walk yourself towards the top of your mat. Nice little bend through the knees. Just begin to round yourself up. Roll yourself up to standing. Just place your hands to your hips. Okay. So we're going to deeply bend through both of our knees and then lift our right foot off of the mat. Now slightly tilt the pelvis forward, core engaged. We're going to lift the left heel off of the mat and then release it back down. It's very tricky on the balance. Lift and release. If it's too much, then just lift the right foot, also fine. Let's just do 5. So lift and release. Got 2 more. Lift, release. It's okay to lose the balance. Lift, release. Nice work. Wrap your right leg now over the left leg. Both knees are bent. Option to stay here or to fully wrap the foot around the left calf. Send the sit bones down. Make a cactus shape with the arms and bring your left elbow underneath your right, hands together in prayer. If that feels too much, bring your hands to your shoulders. Now send the pelvis low and try to rip the arms away from each other. Option to stay here or lift the left heel and release. Lift the left heel, release. Stay with the breath, lift the left heel, release. Notice where your attention goes. Lift, release. Last one, lift, release, and relax. Come to the top of the mat. Close the eyes for a moment. Second side, hands to hips. So we're lifting the left foot off of the mat, deep bend through the right knee, slightly thrusting that pelvis. So place your gaze in one spot, drishti, that will help with the balance. And lift, release. Lift, release. Lift, release. We've got 2 more. Lift, release. Lift, release. Cross your left leg all the way over the right. Cactus the arms. Right elbow underneath left, hands to prayer. Here is perfect. You can stay here. We're going to do our lifts. So inhale, lift, and release. Got 4 more. Beautiful work. I did 5 just for fun, and relax. Inhale, lift your palms up to the sky. Exhale, roll down through the spine. Bring your feet a little wider, toes out, heels in, sit down into a squat position. If your heels are lifting, that's perfect, that's great. If you'd like to slide a block or a couple of books under the pelvis, please do so. Let's bring the hands to prayer high. So lift the pelvis up about 2 centimeters. Yeah. Broaden through the chest by pressing your arms into your legs and your legs back into the arms.
and relax. Bring the pelvis to the mat, reach your hands forward, and then come down onto our back. So one vertebrae at a time, come all the way down. So we've been doing a lot of circling as well as internal rotation of the hips today, which is not something we do a lot of. We're going to do an internally rotated bridge pose, which is something that I've actually learned from Christian. So bring your feet a little closer towards your buttocks and allow your feet to be internally rotated. So big toes towards one another. We're going to make little cactus shapes with our arms. So press your elbows down, your fingertips up towards the ceiling. The same sense of squeezing your inner thighs towards one another. And then lift your pelvis up. Great. Find that same thrust of the pelvis we've been working with in all class. Press your elbows down. You might find a little bit more height through the heart. Bring the chin away from the chest, so creating space between the neck and the mat. Thrusting the pelvis for 3 breaths. And gently relax all the way down. Bring your feet just a little wider. Allow the knees to knock together. Just give yourself a hug by wrapping one arm over the other across your chest. Relax. Release the arms and walk the feet so they're back underneath the knees. I'm going to give you 2 options now. You're either going to cross your right ankle over your left thigh and draw the legs in towards you, interlacing your fingers in front of the left thigh or calf, or fully cross this right leg over the left leg and draw the legs towards you, grabbing hold of their outer feet. If you're grabbing hold of the outer feet, gently pull the feet away from you. And relax, both feet back to the mat. Second side, either crossing your left ankle over the right thigh, drawing the legs towards you, or fully cross the legs, left leg all the way over the right. Grab hold of the outer feet and gently pull them away. And relax. Now bring both of your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Squeeze the knees towards the chest and lift the forehead up towards the knees. And completely relax into Shavasana. So legs wide, arms wide, palms facing upwards. If there were any final final postures that you wanted to make, you're more than welcome to make them. Take a deep and long inhale and release through the mouth, exhale. Letting go of the controlled breath. Letting the breath breathe you. Where we place our attention alters our reality. This is true for ourselves, our external world, and the people around us. I offer you a little experiment today. Choosing someone in your life that you spend a lot of time with, and if you're currently alone in isolation, perhaps it's yourself. Maybe it's a child, your housemate, your partner. And choosing to place your attention on qualities you consider to be positive about that person. And seeing if your experience of that person shifts. I invite you to stay here and rest for as long as you like. A 5 to 10 minute Shavasana is really kind to yourself. I bring my hands to my third eye, and I bow to you and say, Namaste. Namaste, Yogi.